Were you expecting that the chief of defense staff will not be denied visa to Canada? Were you expecting that not to happen? Una dey phone me for this Nigeria where we dey. Things too dey phone me for this country, but una no know. We like to just trend unnecessary news. A revelation came out that concerns and borders around our collective security as the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Nobody is talking about it. Instead, then they talk about the problem very dark and get with Idodu. The problem do Pesidivia get with a marriage. Why are we so focused on discussing people and not discuss events that has affected our collective existence as citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Yes, the CDS was denied visa to Canada. You don't understand what that means. A lot of you don't read the handwriting on the wall. So, in the last 3-4 days, there has been a video circulating on social media. And that goes to tell that we as Nigerians, we forget too much our suffering in a hurry. That is why we can make some mistake over and over and over again. Yes. Are you forgetting so soon what we passed through as human beings in the last 14 years in this country? How are you forgetting so soon? The bombing, only the kwai and the you know, like our life, you know, fizzling out before our very eyes. We were not losing humanity. None of you is remembering your loved ones that quite you are jumping on unnecessary conversation. When a revelation about what led to the demise of our beloved ones in this country is out, that is supposed to be an eye-opener to our very existence as a people. I have a lot of things to say, so this video might be unnecessarily long, but you need to know it because this is the kind of thing we need to start preaching for our children. Now, let me go straight to the point. How many of you saw this video? And what have you said about it? What have you taught your children about it? What have you explained to them is the implication of this particular video? Watch this video for just 1 minute.
Get some of that money. Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room? Because your money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan. It is not. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door.
It be like say, you know, here waiting this man talk well. So there is a particular arm of the like yani NGO that is funded by America, what they call USAID. They have been sponsoring the terrorism that has kept us awake as a people for the past 15 years. Since the late 2009 till today, we have not slept with 2 high schoolers in this country. Do you know that in 2003 or thereabout, when Obama became president of America, every African celebrated because they felt their brother has been to the place, or rather is in the position to now help us live better as people, because they see them as the messiah of global politics. We're quite sad that our fellow person called by our skin color is sponsoring all of this thing. to make sure that we as a people do not live in peace. How do these people continually do this? Do you know what they did? Gaskiya, they made sure they sold their propaganda using religion. They made sure they sold their propaganda using tribalism, and then they perpetrated serious terrorism in our system that our people could not even live in peace. Now, all of this thing, if we not begin to explain to our brothers that these people are beginning to use our head, these people will continually make sure they pay our brothers to kill their own brothers for many years. It is quite sad that somebody like Obama, that we celebrated and say, a global messiah have come. All the time he was in the office, was the person who would do this. But you know why I'm not surprised? Americans as a people, I am saying this because this video might not even get rich, because when you want to talk about some things that will unravel some misery, these people will make sure that this video is either they delete them from the platform, or they make sure they no give and reach. Our own people will know say this thing why they talk na truth, no go even share the video for people to even learn the truth. Let me explain something to you. Very Dark Man had a problem with Nedu, and when this revelation came outside, knowing that he had a big platform, brought out this video. You know, say that video, and I get the less view for him page. Go and check it. We like gossip too much that when issue that borders about our existence come outside, we know the thing plus 1 and 2. Why this thing happen like this? The other day I talked about how the first lady of Sierra Leone was talking about how we cannot control our own resources because America must dictate for us. Where has that been? We are still under serious colonialism if we are not thinking about it. Not be until they put chain for your hand you be slave. We are in serious mental slavery. We are in fact, we need, this is the right time to start preaching the right thing. America has been sponsoring Boko Haram, another terrorist group in this country, and nobody is talking about it. The other day I talked here, say, how can NGO, they go place when Boko Haram there and our soldier no fit go there? Something is wrong somewhere. That is you ridiculing our armed forces. Now, back to the reason why they cannot give somebody like our CDS visa, or they can deny him. The thing is clear. CDS came out openly without fear or favor to say, you know what, we've had many CDS come and go, but let's say the truth as it is. For whenever the Nigerian Armed Force, record any success by capturing all these terrorists, or any handful of them they get, they find with them very serious hard currencies where no be saying a heaven that they fall from. Now person they give them. So they can't say yes, they know say somebody really they sponsor these people, and the international organizations they do this thing. Because why? They need to make us unstable as a people to be able to carry our resources. I told you that day how that they will come under the guise of trying to give food aids to the internally displaced person. In the middle of the night, they will now go back with our resources, our gold and all of that, all the things that are supposed to make us better as a people and compete in the global politics space. We don't understand them. So this Boko Haram thing, when they happen for this country, no be our brothers want to declare. Now people they sponsor them from outside. And this thing then they connect with those ones who be enemy of this country. When love power too much, who are power drunk. If you know the kind of pain I have been doing a deep dive into the case. Now the CDS some time ago said this. After he talk him again, they brought him on other TV stations. He still stood his ground. You now want to think that such man that has revealed the evil secret, that has brought insecurity upon us. Nigerians are very loving people. Despite our tribal difference, Nigerians were always Nigerian before anything else. These people succeeded in dividing us across religious and tribal lines. We now started playing tribal politics. What did they do? They saw that despite all these things they tried, it couldn't work. They sponsored terrorism and labeled it a religious fight. Do you know that for every time you come on social media to want to talk about how this whatever terrorism is a religious fight, Some people will come outside to tell you this thing is not a religious fight, but you will not understand. It is now very clear to everybody. Because to some people, because these people speak whatever language they speak, you not liking them to say, I thought they say Islam is a religion of peace. How come these people are Muslims and then they are killing their fellow brothers? All these Islamic clerics will tell you, say, no, you are not understanding. These people are even buying their own kinsmen. What do you now call that? It's an act of terrorism. They are fighting for something and not for any religion. They know they fight for religion. You cannot defend religion. Religion defends itself. Whatever you want to think, anywhere you go in the world, Islam is a religion of peace. Period. You cannot change that fact. But these people have been able to exploit religion in a manner that they are now making us hate our own different religion. A Christian don't want to see a Muslim don't want to see a Christian, because that is the ideology that have been sold from that other party, the so-called big brothers of politics in the world. Africans that were known for loving each other are no longer loving each other. Fellow Africans are now pulling out of ECOWAS. You are pulling out of a regional organization that can better our collective interest. This is the handwork of the so-called big brothers of politics. These are some of the things you are not told. No wonder these people will make sure they sponsor one or two people they position in government to destabilize our politics. They dictate what our election should be. They put who they want in power. Because when somebody like Goodluck Jonathan was talking, we did not understand. He said, the Obama government has so much interference in our election and it's something for concern. Look at this video.
The level of interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people look at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep this under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence systems are not strong enough.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we've seen Boko Haram regroup and regroup and regroup. What is your answer to that? That you have in some way fed the insurgents?
The problem is that I think we've talked to international community. Let's find out the funding. When they started surrendering, by the time we left, so as we speak, we have over 120,000 that have surrendered. Most of them, when you find them, they are coming with hard currencies. How did they get them? How are they funded? How did they get the training? How did they get the equipment?
What is your suspicion?
Well, maybe an international conspiracy, you don't know. Who knows? How are they be able to sustain themselves for 15 years? That is one question I think everybody should ask himself. For Nigeria to be able to hold them, and you go to Nigeria, everything seems to be working well.
You must have an idea. I mean, let's not talk about international conspiracy theories. Let's give some hard facts.
Well, I just leave it at that. I'm sure they know, and I'm sure everybody knows that these are the challenges we're facing that needs to be addressed. So the UN need to come in to ensure that, because we need to trace the funding. How are they sustaining themselves for 15 years?
What does the UN coming in mean? What does that look like?
Track the funding. It's international flow. We don't have control over that.
Whose interest is it to see Nigeria destabilized?
Well, I don't know. You don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
$697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. You are funding terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's not just Afghanistan, because Pakistan's right next door.
Now, this video is enough reason to tell you that it don't take when monkey hand on the resemble crayfish for soup for our politics. No wonder these people will tell you that they do not want us to have history, our own history, as a compulsory subject from primary school to university level. I make this move today, and I say to every well-meaning Nigerian youth, this is the right time. We need to be preaching the right approach to what will change us for good. It is not like we don't have the better plan, but if we want to execute it, these people will make sure that we work against it. I can give you several instances. As of 2016, I was privy to the information and the original master plan of this Abuja. I saw it in picture. I said, Kai. Just give us a matter of time. We will measure up with Dubai. Do you know that that particular place, the money, the whatever finance that was responsible for making the Abuja free zone a competitive place with the so-called Dubai today, that everybody run and take their money to go and spend? My brother, do you know that that project was halted by these first world countries? These are some of the things you will not understand. That free zone till today, they never put one block program for that free zone. But do you know that that free zone is supposed to house the tallest building in the world, and we can achieve it? We have the finance, but these people will make sure that they will do everything to frustrate us to create tourism. Let me explain to you. As of 2016, North Korea GDP for global GDP rate was around that kind, was about 17 to 20 in the world. North Korea. Qatar was around 11. Saudi Arabia also was around 11 for global GDP. Now they can't just surprise, say from nowhere North Korea moved to number 7. What did they do differently? Good. Saudi Arabia says something is wrong. Be there 11, North Korea there 7. Guess what Saudi Arabia now did? They started developing all these Emirati states started developing their cities and started creating tourism. Do you know that one time, what China needed to compete with the rest of the world heavily was to make sure they opened their doors to tourism? They started their sport entertainment and all. They sold it to the world by force. They were on our faces, aside from their technology and all. Now I ask, we as Nigerians, apart from our beautiful entertainment at the moment that we are selling to the world, what else can we sell? I said it the other day, some people were angry. I said that, you know that some people we prefer to want to play in South African League. As Nigerians, they prefer to play in our own goalkeeper number 1, 001, Wabali is playing in South Africa. Yes. They are just but a handful of our international stars that want to play our Nigerian league. Because why? We want to make the money and invest it in other countries' progress. We don't want to invest it here. This is an eye-opener. But would you blame somebody like Obama, who has sponsored Boko Haram with over $618 million since 2010 till date? Now so boom, all of us just they collect. People buy for no reason. So this, our fellow black brother can buy his own people just to make sure he sustains his own people in America. But you wouldn't blame them. Donald Trump, the current president, posted this days ago on Twitter, now X. He said this, that every move to defend your country, whether good or bad, is not an offense. So he no care whether he will need to level an entire country, make everybody fight for the country for the benefit of America. They no care. They come first. So Obama prefers to make sure that Nigeria is destabilized to the core. Terrorism is the hallmark. While that is happening, they continue to exploit our resources. Let me explain what this does. By the time terrorism is happening, then they buy farmers for their farm. Nobody feel farm again. Do you know what America will now do? They will start preaching this genetically modified food. They don't have it, they never did one. They will not even pay a handful of some of our senators. Unbelievable ones will start defending this thing and say genetically modified foods are not problem. You know why? We are Africans. There are ordinary things that will not happen to us. Before now, many years back, our children don't know what to be Cerelac or whatever they call all this genetically modified food where children they chop. As we wake, we they eat natural food from our agriculture. We they do our kamu give picking. They match egg give them. Much yam give them, then they grow. You know they see children they sick anyhow from nowhere. They come with their genetically modified sicknesses, put them for here. All of us they collect before we know they say this flu. Now all these people they bring them to us. We day and I didn't bring Ebola give us. We day and I didn't bring Corona give us. We day and all this is targeted at black supremacy. Once any man will get this our skin. They already they reach one level for global, they will try to break him. You don't know. We need to wake up and be wise. We must learn our history. See, we just must be teaching our history to our children. Let our African politicians listen, don't because of your selfish interest. Turn us to crumbles, like make we not go crumble. I know what I am saying. We must be teaching our history. In fact, if you know the way you are said, if you don't pass English and Maths for schools, you cannot graduate and all of that. See, everybody must have at least 50 over 100 in history as a subject. I know what I am saying. Because it is with these facts we have at hand that we can compete with the rest of the world. That you did this to us and did this to us. How many of our children even know the history of what our slavery has been like as a people? No, they don't know. The Oga of DSS posted, said something, and then I saw Rufai Hussein posted that and I watched it this morning. And then I saw the comment in the comment section. Go on Instagram, you see, you will laugh at how some people perceive some information. They see everything like it's a joke. The man said, he was talking about the CDS, and then he made mention of, I think, is it George Bush, I mean John F. Kennedy, I can't really, the one president of America was contesting for second term, and then one 10-year-old girl now met him and said she's not eligible to vote now, but what can a 10-year-old do to become a president, or what can a 10-year-old do to support his administration? That the president then now said, you know what, every time you see any uniform man, tell them thank you for saving America. Do you understand the implication of that statement? Then the people come, they laugh for the comment section for this man, it don't make sense. How does it not make sense? Do you know that if they incapacitate your military in your country, automatically you have been colonized again? You don't know. If they incapacitate your country military, whether na police, army, air force, navy, mention them, immigration, custom, DSS, if they incapacitate all these people for this country with the way America plan them, automatically we have been colonized. This first world country has made us like chin-chin, divide and rule. Okay, leave this country for me, I go leave this one for you. Now will be Africa be like bread where they share put for their hand. If we don't stand up, I know for somebody like me with this kind of security, why I don't even open said, the feet don't define me. But guess what? Whether or not you like them, you get the way them go born person, you get the way person go quiet. If not this truth, I will talk to liberate a lot of us and our mindset. Some of our brothers, when carry Chakabula, they wish today, they find person carry. No be their mindset, they no born them like that. It is what the system has created for them that is like that. These people sell ideologies to us. If not, which day? Waiting with this idea of say you dey sponsor terrorism for another person country because you want to pack their resources. We need to deploy 1 and 2. Where soldier no fit go for. Okay, imagine you sponsor terrorism No be that one be problem. Then you stop to dey sell arms to us to fight these terrorists where you sponsor. That be killing something. They were not selling arms to us now when Boko Haram be the injure us for this country now. The Nigerian army could not buy weapons anywhere. So it's a globally planned something now by these powerful nations now. Nobody will fight for us if we don't fight. In fact, going forward, you might hear me stop complaining about governance. It's the only time I might complain about governance now when they do the one way no good. You know what? These people have found a way to project themselves in the light they want the world to see them. We will be projecting ourselves in the way the world will see us going forward. I am so pained when I saw this thing. Obama did this too. Now, if to say a black person talking now, this person is a senator in America and I ain't talking for their flow. If now we talk and then go to say we just dey talk wetin we no know, we just dey talk rubbish. Now so na dey talk. Everything na nonsense we dey talk for you. This kind of video will not make sense to you now until we see the one when pass our power. For 16 years, we just did this country. We know the peace sleep. Everybody don't jackpot come up for this country. We dey jackpot they go there, they throw us, they come back. Because they don't make our country unstable for us, we are left with no options. We are in fact we have our own. Some people are scared of carrying their money where they don't make anywhere. Look at Americans. Anywhere they make their money else in the world, they come back. They be like hunter. If they kill for bush, then carry one house. Yes. But we, as we kill for bush, now bush we go there chop am. You know they reach house. Now be our problem. Listen. Whether or not you like him as an African, whether you are a Nigerian, you are a Kenyan, you are from South Africa, you are from Burkina Faso, Sierra Leone, wherever you are, a Ghanaian, a Cameroonian, you can see this video. I am telling you, put your country first. Because every terrorism you are seeing in your country is sponsored by this first world country. I say it and I beat my chest to say it. I am happy every day of my life now in recent time that I read history as a course. And whatever I'll be saying, I'll be making sure I check facts before I come and talk. Because if I don't bring out this fact to come and show you, me, I have taken my time. I know all these things, but I've been waiting for clear evidence to prove this point. And thank God it's playing out like this. Because now, in history and in law, whatever you must come to argue, we know they are alleged. We come with facts. Leave all this allegedly. Do you know that, for instance now, there are 12 months in a year. Every other month has 30 and 31 days, except for February. But do you know that I can argue that October has less days than February? If I'm able to prove you right, do you know that that is correct? That is how law works. That is how facts works. Do you know that sometime in history, around 1582, October had 22 days? So does that not debunk the fact that February has less days? In the calendar, I know some of you want to go and verify. Go and verify. One time in history, October had 22 days in one particular year. So the fact, see, it is very clear that what we need now is for our leaders to come together. They know these things. Even our own military don't decry. Say, this thing now, these people, they sponsor these people against us. No wonder Goodluck say his personal ambition, his political ambition is no bigger than the life of any Nigerian. It's not what the blood of any Nigerian. We don't understand. They saw that we were thriving too much. They saw that our politics was going too smooth. They interfered in a manner we least expected. It is painful that we lost somebody like Yaradua. Very painful. Very, very painful. African leaders, we need to stand up and start fighting for our rights. We need to start saying it the way it is. We need to start educating our own generation and stop playing tribalism. Whatever system of government can favor us, if it is regional government that can favor us, and make sure we own Nigeria and develop this Nigeria to compete with the rest of the world, we need to do it fast. See what Egypt has become. Don't start giving us that excuse, say Nigeria, you know, is just a growing country. We are not supposed to be a developing nation anymore. It took Dubai just last 20 years to be what it is. We are 60-something years already as an independent nation from what the so-called ideology of colonialism is. but we are still colonized because we are answerable to them for whatever competition, whatever our election is. It is a shame to know that America has been sponsoring this terrorism and nobody is making noise about it. Nobody is making noise about it. We dey talk about who no marry who again on social media, waiting concern me with all those rubbish. I mean, we dey talk about issue where very dark man get with Nedu. Forget when he raised the issue of the sponsors of Boko Haram. They came and just made it look like a religious war. Meanwhile, it is not it. Giving bad name to Islam. Allah ya Isa.